Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video. I am just out here double checking that I am live on my business page where I want to be. So let me make sure that I've got the video set up correctly. Hopefully I do. Of course, I can't see it at the moment, so give me 1 second. Oh, yep, looks like I'm live. I just need to make sure that I can see your comments. And of course, my computer's running really slow all of a sudden now that, that I'm out here trying to be live and see what you guys are doing. So, all right, okay, I think I'm good. I can see the comments, I can see my card, so I think we are good to go. So thanks so much if you're joining me today. Feel free to stop in and say hello, and if you're not, hopefully you will be able to catch the replay at some point as well. So today I'm going to show you real quickly how it is that I made this card with the all-around wreath dies set, as well as the A Wish for Everything stamp set. So, gosh, I'm hoping that I'm live. For whatever reason, it's, I think it is. I think we're good to go. Oh, good. Roz hopped on. Okay, I wanted to make sure I wasn't out here all by myself in the wrong place because I was just like, that's strange. There's nobody here but me. So, okay. Well, I'm glad to see that you're here and thank you so much for hopping on. So, all right. So today, like I said, I'm going to show you real quickly how we made this card with the all-around wreaths dies, as well as the, I used the waterfront stamp set and the A Wish for Everything stamp set on the inside. I even used the Colorful Season stamp set, so, and several die sets. So anyway, so just a lot of stuff on it. So first things first, though, I wanted to remind you about a couple of things going on from Stampin' Up. The first one is Stampin' Up has their 24-hour stamp set sale. Say that really five times really fast. So 24-hour stamp set sale starting tomorrow. Well, actually it starts tonight at midnight Mountain Time. And it runs for the day tomorrow, Wednesday, October 23rd. It runs until 11:50 p.m. Mountain Time. And it's 15% off select stamp sets. And there are really kind of a lot of them on the list. So this is page 1, and then you turn it over and we got all of page 2. And then it goes on to page 3. So there are quite a few stamp sets on here. Hopefully some that you are interested in. What I like to see is that they're all from the annual catalog, so just know that. But one nice thing is there actually are a couple of holiday stamp sets that are in the annual catalog that are actually on the list that are on sale right now. So if you haven't picked out your stamp sets for the holidays yet, get some good deals on these. So definitely some good stamp sets. And actually there are some on the list I was a little shocked that I actually don't own. So I have a few that I'm going to be ordering tomorrow as well. All right, second thing up, Stampin' Up has the new paper trimmer, which I know I showed that in a previous video, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever I got mine. And they just announced today that this will be available for customers to order starting on November 1st. So yay! It'll be starting on Friday, November 1st. You guys can order it, and it's $25 for the trimmer. It is a nice trimmer. It cuts really straight. The blade is really smooth on it. It's like I said, it's a really nice trimmer. And as far as I'm concerned, I think it's leaps and bounds ahead of our previous trimmer. So if you loved the previous trimmer and the way it cut, I did not. Mine didn't work particularly well, but this one is much, much better as far as it cuts straight, it scores straight, and the blades work really well on it. So just know that that is coming on November 1st. So yay, I'm glad about that. Yes, and there are some background stamps that are on that sale, which yay, yay, yay. Like I said, it's a really good sale. There's a lot of stuff on it this year. So, and then the last thing I wanted to remind you about is also starting on November 1st, while supplies last, Stampin' Up has a new bundle or new product suite that they are going to be having for sale as well for customers. It's available for demonstrators to order right now. So we've got the Christmas Time is Here product suite, and you can order it as the whole big bundle, which has got everything in it for $112.50. And then they have just the stamps and dies bundled, and that's $61 for the stamp set and dies. Or you can get just the stamp set, or you can get just the dies, just the designer series paper, just the bracelet, just the gold shimmer ribbon, or just the gold glitter enamel dots. And just know the designer series paper, actually it's 12 by 12, and it is a specialty designer series paper, so it's got some beautiful gold foiling in it. So anyway, so that is all. Just wanted to give you a couple Stampin' Up reminders as of things we've got going on. So I'm excited about the stamp set sale tomorrow, and excited about the new products coming for everybody to order starting on November 1st. So definitely glad about that. All right, so back to the card. So we have got, let's go ahead and get started. I guess I'll just dive right in, and instead of telling you everything, I'll try to talk as I'm going along. I will be, oh, and I have details about the stamp set sale and everything posted out on my blog already. And I'll be posting more out tomorrow and with links and everything. So as soon as the sale goes live, things will be appearing on my blog as well. So, definitely take a look at that if you haven't yet. So, hey, Kay, thanks for hopping in from North Carolina. All right, so let's back to the card. We're going to get started with a crumb cake card base. And I actually used this stamp set happens to be on sale tomorrow for 15% off. So yay, bonus for that. So I used the little dot image here from the Waterfront stamp set to stamp the front of a crumb cake card base. And I used a little crumb cake ink, so we're just going to do that real quickly here. Ink it up and just stamp it sort of up here in the corner. I don't know that I had any real precise measurement, and if you get it a little bit off, you can always just stamp it a second time if something doesn't fit right or whatever. So, and then stamped it again a little bit lower down here or on the other side of the wreath. All right, so let me close that up and set that aside for a second. The next thing that I did was actually I pre-cut these with the all-around wreath dies, and this is the die that I used, and I pre-cut terracotta tile, cut from terracotta tile and from crushed curry cardstocks. So again, like I said, I went ahead and pre-cut those so you didn't have to watch me do that, and added a little bit of liquid glue to the back. And I didn't do it on every single leaf, but just tried to kind of pick the bigger leaves in the bunch and adhere it down, so you don't. This hopefully won't take me too long to put dots of liquid glue on here. While I'm gluing it down, I guess one thing that I can tell you is that I also have a little added ordering bonus that I've got going on right now, that if you place an order of $50 or greater through my online store between now and October 27th, which is Sunday, you'll get to pick a pack of envelopes, a pack of treat boxes, gift packaging type stuff. So I'm trying to help you get ready a little bit early for the holidays. So just doing a little ordering bonus. So if you order through my online store, then you're going to get a few extra little goodies that you get to pick along with your order. So an order of $50 or greater. So again, the details are posted on my blog about that. So if you have any questions, go take a look and drop me a note. So I've got the terracotta tile one adhered on the card front, and this is a crushed curry, and I used a little bit of terracotta tile and a sponge dauber, and just added a little bit of color around the edge with the sponge dauber, around the edge of the leaves. Tried not to get too heavy-handed with it, but just wanted a little bit of sort of that fall-looking color with it. Hey, Mary, thanks for joining. Glad that you liked the card, and I see Nancy's here as well, so thanks so much for joining. Let me know if you have questions about anything as we go along. Don't know if you saw. If not, you'll probably want to go back and watch the beginning in a minute, even though I was kind of fumbling around and couldn't figure out for sure where I was live at. Thankfully, I was live in the right spot. But there are some good deals from Stampin' Up! That are going on soon. Some new product, paper trimmer, all that stuff. So take a look at the early part of the video when we get done here. All right, we're going to go ahead and glue down the crushed curry wreath right over the top using a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. And again, just adding little dots here and there. All right, so got that part done. And flip it over. The only sort of trick when you are adhering these one on top of the other, because it is the exact same die cut and it is sort of a repeated die cut, is just to make sure when you lay it on over the top that you're not putting it exactly on top of itself. Otherwise you don't really get the layering effect. Because it took me a minute. The first time I sort of laid it down, I'm like, oh, that's not what I want. So just make sure you sort of offset the leaves so that you get a little fuller look on your wreath. All right, so next up, let me set this over here. I pre-cut a couple of the little branches from Early Espresso cardstock, and I used this die from the all-around wreath dies, and just use a couple little glue dots. That's the wrong box here. Got a full one here. Thank you, Kay. I'm glad that you like the card too. So, and I don't know if you noticed on this die set, one thing that I actually really like is that the branches are sort of curved so that they go in opposite directions, if that makes sense, so that you can put them together like this and it makes a little bit of a circle, which is nice because some of the dies, they're straight across or they only curve one way and then you can't really make it look like pretty on a wreath. So I like that these are curved both ways, which is probably really weird, but that's one of the things that I actually really like about this die set. So just using a couple little glue dots, and I know it's not going to look extremely secure on there, but the glue dots do actually hold, if I can get it to stick down instead of to my finger. The glue dots actually do hold pretty well when you're doing these little thin die cuts, especially since I'm going to be adding a little embellishment over the top of it and really kind of smashing it down once I get the glue dots on there. It'll hold. Obviously, if you pull really hard on it, it probably won't, but it should hold just fine for the purposes of sending your card to somebody. So we're layering on the early espresso die cuts. So, hey, Erin, I see that you're here too. I don't have a Jersey accent yet. No, every once in a while I hear that the Midwestern one come out with the long O's. Sometimes I hear a little bit of Southern thing, but I can't wait till I start getting the New Jersey accent and adding that in with everything else because y'all are going to not be able to understand a word I say, I don't think. I think I've got the speed of the Jersey thing going, just not the accent yet. So again, I use the same die set from the all-around wreath dies and used soft suede cardstock and cut a little bit of these kind of more leafy branches, which again, these cut, when you cut them, they actually cut like that so that it goes both ways on a wreath, which again is one of the things that I really liked about it. So let me add on a couple of glue dots here to layer the branches over the top. So Karen is here too, I see. Sneaking a peek between making puppy cookies. Oh, see, the Halloween ones are really cute. So, hey Sherry, I haven't seen you in ages, so I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that you're doing well and hope that your daughter's doing okay too. So thanks for jumping in today. It's nice to see you there, even though I can't hear you, but I can see that you're there, so I appreciate you joining. All right, just going to do the last one here on a little glue dot and stick that down. All right, so we've got kind of our pile of branches there. And the next thing I did was I actually went ahead and pre-colored these, but used a bronze Stampin' Blends marker. And I'm not sure how well you can see it, but this one, and this one, I pre-colored just the silver parts with the bronze marker. Because I didn't want it to be, I don't know if it shows as well on screen, but in real life, they're very shiny and silver, and I wanted to kind of tone that down a little bit, so the only thing I could think of doing was adding a little bit of bronze ink around it. So that's what I did. Just used the bronze Stampin' Blends marker and colored the edges, and that sort of took a little bit of the shine off it and grungied it up or dirtied it up or whatever you want to call it. Oh, here we go. Trying to get it to stick to not to my fingers. All right, and then I'm just sticking these over the top here. All right, so we got our little collection of flowers and branches, and as you can see, hopefully, the flowers covered up all the little glob of glue dots that I had there. Plus, it makes the glue dots, sort of stick down a little bit better when you smash the flowers down over the top of them. So it worked as a nice little, bonus. So, okay. So next up, I stamped the sentiment from the A Wish for Everything stamp set. And I used the Thanksgiving stamp because obviously I'm doing a Thanksgiving card. Stamped that in a little early espresso ink on a piece of terracotta tile cardstock. All right, that looks pretty good. Set that aside and close up the ink pad before I stick my fingers in it. And then I actually used the Merry Christmas dies rather than the dies that coordinate with the A Wish for Everything stamp set to cut the sentiment out. And also I like that it had a little die to cut this sentiment, the Thanksgiving sentiment out. The Happy, I actually originally started with the die set that coordinates with this stamp set, but the Happy was too small for the way I wanted it to look on the card. So that was why I switched and went with this one instead. The other one would work, but I just like the way that this one personally looked better, so that's why I went with that. Anyway, so let me go back, get the die cut done here of the Thanksgiving. So I'm going to wheel myself right over here off screen for 1 second. So you can chatter amongst yourselves, well, except for Mary. Don't let her chatter. Everyone else, feel free to chatter away. Hopefully Mary's listening. And if she's not, you guys can give her a hard time anyway. So, all right, so let me wheel back over here. I've got my sentiment all die cut, and I used a couple of glue dots to stick that on as well, just because it's a little bit bumpy over the top of the wreath, so I didn't want to try to use the liquid glue and adhere it down flat. I find that glue dots tend to work a little bit better for me when I'm doing this type of a card where it's not going to be adhered down to something completely flat. Oh, poor Mary. It's discrimination. Oh, yeah, and harassment too. So, all right. So see, even Kay's picking on you. So, all right. So I went ahead and pre-cut the sentiment from champagne foil sheets, again with the Merry Christmas dies. And we're just going to use a little bit of liquid glue, and hopefully I'll get just a little bit on. For whatever reason, this bottle of glue is a newer one of mine, and I'm like, a lot is coming out when I'm using it. So I don't know if there's a little bubble underneath it that I need to get out of it or what's going on, but a lot of glue kind of comes out. So I'm hoping I don't make a big mess here. All right. Oh, Mary, oh, okay, go ahead. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this a little bit. I did it offset on my card just because, I don't know, sometimes when you try to line it all up straight, you end up getting things crooked. I just figured if I started with it crooked to begin with, then I wasn't going to worry about exactly whether it was straight and perfect and all that. So, all right. So, hey, Diane, thanks for joining today. So, make sure it's a Jersey congressman. See, y'all don't need to fuel her anymore. She's so, all right. So that is it for the card front. So just again, a real basic little Thanksgiving card. Did the inside of the card, started with some very vanilla cardstock, and used a couple of the leaf images from the Colorful Seasons stamp set. So again, I don't know how on such a simple card I was able to pull out so much product and use it, but I did. So, all right, so we're going to stamp in terracotta tile the larger leaf from the Colorful Seasons stamp set. Just going to stamp one way and going to flip it the other way and stamp it down here. And then I'm going to use crushed curry and stamp the more solid, smaller leaf. Again, it's from the Colorful Seasons stamp set. I'm just going to stamp, I think we'll just do that one here. And then, oh, yeah, that darn work. I know it gets in the way for a lot of people. And see, I think we all just need to quit your jobs and hang out and watch Facebook Lives all day. So, all right, and then last but not least, I've got crumb cake ink, which I almost stuck my fingers in because I was not paying attention and talking. And the same image from the waterfront stamp set that I'm just going to stamp the little splatter over the edge of it here. And I'll close it up again, so hopefully I will not stick my fingers in it or my card base, so that's the inside of the card. Just again, keeping it pretty basic, using a little bit of snail to adhere it inside the card. And I don't know if you can hear the dog. I don't know, she's obviously thinks that I'm crazy in here talking to myself. She's like doing laps around the table right now, so I don't know if you can hear her little paws on the hardwood floor, but she's trying to figure out what I'm doing in here and why I'm talking and laughing to myself. So, all right, so that is it for the card today. Let me pull out the original one that I made, and both turned out a little bit slightly differently, just placement-wise. I went up a little bit higher on this one, down a little bit lower on this one. But basically the same card. So hopefully you liked it, and I will plan to see you guys. Snail is that what it's called? Yes. Yep, it's called snail. It's actually an acronym for something, and I probably should know what that is, but I don't know what it is. I just know that it is, in fact, it's called snail. So, Anyway, so if you have questions about anything, let me know. Again, I'll be posting all the details out on my blog for my cards tomorrow, so you'll get to see all the details and the die cuts and everything that you want to keep track of as far as what to order, what die sets I use, the colors, all that sort of thing, stamp sets and everything. So thanks so much for joining me today. Again, don't forget about my ordering special that I've got going on, where you get free envelopes or gift packaging, or note cards and envelopes, along with an order of $50 or greater that you place through my online store through the end of the week, through the end Sunday, the October 27th. And then definitely don't forget about the Stampin' Up! Stamp set sale that is going to be happening tomorrow for 15% off the select list of stamps. So thanks so much again for joining me today, and let me know if you have questions, and I will plan to chat with you all next week, Tuesday.